on live. Perfect. So guys, continuously many students are messaging asking, is the paper going to be really tough? Because it was unexpected postponement. That too, why it was postponed, one of the speculation, I'm not sure exactly whether it is 100% true or not, but I have seen it in Reddit that in Gujarat, instead of opening FM paper, what I saw was, in the particular post that is being circulated, I'm not 100% sure whether it is right or not, because institute has not given any official confirmation on why they postponed. So that is the reason I'm telling you this is a speculation. I'm not sure 100%. I'm neither saying it is right, it is wrong. I'm not saying it is right also. So one of the reason is FMSM paper, instead of opening that, audit paper seal was opened. Since the paper was leaked, indirectly it was nothing but a paper was leaked. It's like a leak, okay? So why to take chance? Institute has postponed it. That is one of the reason why it got postponed. Fine. Now, so obviously if that incident is going to be true, then the institute will for sure change the audit paper. If that is true, the institute will change the paper for sure. Okay. Yeah, no, it's typically speaking, there are a lot of there is a lot involved. Basically, in any exam, no, there will be one official observer will be there. In any exam, there will be one official observer will be there, and the exam center head will be there. These two people together only should present when paper is being sealed. If both of them have not identified, if both of them have not paid attention, that is when these kinds of mistakes will happen. But at the end of the day, everybody has to suffer if any of these technical issues arises. This is a technical mistake. Basically, this is a technical mistake. Whether it happened negligently or because, we don't know. Nobody knows, and the facts are not sure. This is one of the speculation. That's it. Fine. If this is going to be the case, then audit paper, they will revise it. And obviously, there is a chance if this is going to be true, there is a chance that paper might be little harder. But it is, there is one well established rule that a calendar will never decide whether a paper is going to be tough or easy. A calendar will never decide. Just because exam is conducted later, just because you are having more number of days, institute will not be thinking like, more number of days were there for a candidate, so let us give the paper tough. No. Even then, if you still believe that paper is going to be tough, if you think it is going to be tough, shall we define and shall we figure out a solution for this? Like, what do you mean by tough? Like, what do you mean by tough? What do you mean by tough? Like, if I give you hint, if I give you the list of what are all the tough questions in all the chapters of CA inter audit, we have 11 chapters, right? We have 11 chapters. If at all you figure out all the tough questions, hardly all the tough questions put together will be hardly 50 questions will be there, guys, not more than that. And from these 50 topics only, if at all they tested, generally students, they don't pay attention to them. So only from these 50 topics, if at all they tested, paper going to be tough, otherwise it is not. By the way, just evening I finished my class. Actually, my CA inter new audit class is going on, May attempt related. Almost so much time I took class, and then now taking live. Literally a lot of work, guys. And I'll feel very happy if you like the video and share, comment where are you watching this from. And no matter how the paper is going to come, let it be. Let's all face it with a with a strong preparation. So fine, guys, let me show you what are all the tough questions. Now I want you to do two things. One, download 2 PDFs from our particular website. Just PDF, nothing. It's a free of cost. It's PDF is free, guys. Okay, we are not charging anything. It's free. Wonderful PDFs, guys. You just download. I will show you how to figure out tough questions in that. Now you just open our website, Shrestha, for CA and CMA, SHRESHTA, Shrestha, space for space CSEMA, Shrestha for CSEMA, just Google it. You will find one site, okay? So Shrestha for CSEMA.com, nothing but, okay? You just open it. By default, CA Inter, you know, here click free resources. And here, you know, CA Inter is there. Click on that. We have a question bank. First open that question bank. First open this particular question bank. Now, you open this question bank. Inside this, I have specifically highlighted tough questions. I'll show you, wait. So I have highlighted already tough questions in this particular paper. So in every chapter you can easily find, in fact I told my team member to prepare a list of exceptional questions in the same website, in the same location. Tomorrow you will find exceptional questions, all exceptional questions at one place. Okay, now I am showing you. This question bank has totally 520 questions, guys, but don't worry, I'm not asking you to read all these questions, but I'll tell you, in this, in every chapter you will find a tag like exceptional. You will find a tag something like this. You will find exceptional questions. No, I'm not talking about expected questions, guys. Exceptional questions I'm talking about. Already my expected questions list is given on the website. It is there in the same free resources. Remember, expected questions are different from exceptional questions. Exceptional means you're all feeling right now the paper is going to be tough, right? What do you mean by tough? There is a possibility that they can ask these kind of exceptional questions. That is what exceptional question is, basically nothing but asking a tough questions, unusual questions, something we are not prepared for, something that we generally don't focus on, some concepts that we don't pay attention. Those questions, if at all comes, which you are not aware of, see, that is what hard paper means, right? So what is a hard paper according to you? Hard paper is technically nothing but something which is tough. Yeah, now look at this exceptional questions like this in every chapter. You know, you see in the first chapter, nature and objective and scope, one exceptional question in illustrations I showed, and in MRP category, in the same question bank, we have a category called MTP RTP question paper. And remember, we have updated this question bank up to Jan 26 attempt, guys. We have updated this up to Jan 26. Okay, you can comfortably download the PDF and only read in the next few days. I am sure at least 3 to 4 days gap might be there. Okay, tomorrow anyhow you have one day. 19th Pakka exam will not be conducted 19th. So 20 or 21, if at all institute is conducting exam somewhere before 20 to 23, also you're having 3-4 days time. Okay, so exceptional question. See another question, and I'll show you question number 3, also exceptional question. And then we have another question here. You see, that's it. So in the first chapter, again question number 15 is exceptional question. And again coming to second chapter. So 3 questions or 4 questions were there in first chapter, exceptional questions. Only they are tough. Okay. Then in ethics and terms of engagement, like this you will find in every chapter some 7 to 8 questions. On an average in full syllabus put together, 50 to 60 questions, or maybe I can say worst scenario 100 questions will be there. 100 only. Out of 520 questions, in this question bank we have 520 questions. Just 100 questions will be there which are exceptional, which are actually tough. Now I will also tell you, if at all you want a concept name for it, if at all you want to know concept name for exceptional questions, what are the exceptional or most difficult concepts in audit which can be tested in exam, which generally students feel very tough. If you want to know that, I will give you that list. You know, what are exceptional questions in nature, objective and scope of audit? In nature, objective and scope of audit, please take a note of this, everybody. Please make a note of this along with me. Just a simple exercise, guys. Now in this scope of audit excludes what? Scope of audit excludes what? That is one concept. You have a concept called scope of audit in first chapter. What it excludes? So that is one of the exceptional that looks little difficult. And in the same scope of audit, you have a topic called, in scope of audit, you know, presentation and disclosure of financial information. Regarding presentation and disclosure, some 4 or 5 points will be there. That is one of the exceptional topic. Then you have inherent limitations, right? You have inherent limitations, right? In inherent limitations, future events, one point will be there, future events, that is exceptional, that feels tough generally. Okay, then coming to then we have another one called what is assurance engagement and what are its elements. Assurance engagement means what and what are its elements. And there is one more one exceptional which is difficult. What is need for engagement and quality control standards? What is the need for engagement and quality control standards? These are the 5 topics. Okay, especially you see I'm very specific, I'm very specifically talking about a subtopic. These are the topics where students generally don't pay much attention in nature, objective and scope of audit. These are the topics where they generally do not pay attention. Then coming to ethics and terms of engagement. Ethics and terms of engagement. Fine. You know, if at all you're having any concept book, if you want to tick it simply, okay, I think writing like this might take time for you. I know your patience levels also, so I will directly show you from the concept notes directly. Okay, like let me open the concept notes directly from the website. You know, there is something called my goat notes, which is just 260 pages. Entire audit is in 260 pages. Okay, now look at it. So in this I will directly show you better. So this is my latest 26th edition goat notes, guys. This is applicable for Jan 26, no problem at all. Yeah, I'm showing you. Wait, so let us stick straight away. Even if at all you're having the same goat notes, well and good. If at all you're having some other faculty book or maybe institute book, if you're reading this here, whatever the order I'm going to show you, in the same way in the institute book also will be there. So fine, we have totally 11 chapters, right? So the first chapter is nature, objective and scope. So what exceptional questions I told right now? First exceptional question I told is, you know, scope of audit will be there, right? Scope of audit. I'm talking about exceptional, guys. I'm talking about hard questions. Okay, because you know, you're worried about if the paper comes hard, how to face it, right? If I show you what are hard questions and if you prepare those hard questions with little more effort, now tell me, how does it makes any difference? Let the paper come hardest. It doesn't make any difference in your preparation. Okay, so scope of audit will be there in your ICA book. No, scope of audit will be there. Inside that scope of audit includes proper disclosure of financial information. Okay, presentation and disclosure or proper disclosure of financial information. Okay, so this particular point is exceptional. This is something tough which you generally don't focus on. Then scope of audit do not include. This is also something which generally students don't focus. This is hard. Then apart from that, inherent limitations, right? Inherent limitations, 2 points please take a note. Timeliness and relevance of financial information and future events. This is something exceptional. This is something exceptional. Then what is exceptional? Again, what is something difficult? Assurance engagement means what? What are the elements of assurance engagement? Like 3-party relation, subject matter, there must be suitable criteria, there must be evidence, and finally written report has to be issued. This is something difficult again. Then again, if you ask me, is there any other difficult question in this topic? That is need for standards. There is a question, there is a concept called, in your ICA book study material also the same, or if you're following any other faculty book also the same, need for EQC standard. This is hard. That's it. So in the nature, objective and scope of audit, this is enough. This is exceptional. Yeah, somebody is asking. Yes, absolutely. You can watch the marathon and quick chart book video, all that you can absolutely watch. It will be really, really helpful. So that's it, guys. This is regarding NOS, nature, objective and scope. Now coming to ethics and terms of engagement. Remember, this is 11th chapter in your ICA book, but whereas in my book I kept it as 2nd chapter because this is something that you need to discuss at the beginning itself. So in this chapter there are totally 3 parts. Part 1, ethics. Part 2, terms of engagement. Part 3, quality control. Like that, there are totally 3 topics in this chapter. Now in this, need for professional ethics. This itself can come as a 5 marks question if at all the paper want to be really hard, because this topic is something where generally students don't pay attention. They will even skip this topic. See, again I'm repeating, if at all you're worried about that, is the paper going to be tough, if at all they want to really make tough, this kind of corner questions they'll ask. So need for professional ethics. Then we have independence of auditor. Another tough question they can ask is independence of auditor. What do you mean by independence of auditor? And what is its important to listed companies? All that. Independence of auditor, they can ask that. Exceptional. Then again, threats to independence is no doubt important question. Every one of you know. Safeguards to independence. Totally 3 questions I showed right now in ethics. In ethics alone 3 questions. Remember, by the way, this ethics and terms of engagement chapter is almost 10 to 15 marks weightage, guys. Minimum 10 marks weightage from this chapter up to 15 marks. It's a very small chapter, but the weightage is minimum 10 and up to 15 marks. Safeguards to independence. First one, need for ethics. Then independence of auditor. Then safeguards to independence. These 3 questions are something, these 3 concepts are something students don't pay much attention. Next. Then terms of engagement. In this, one question is there. Preconditions, anyhow, every one of you will anyhow write. In that, 3 and 4 points. If preconditions does not present, or if there is a limitation on the scope of the auditor prior to accepting the audit, these points you should mainly focus on, because an MCQ can come. If a paper has to be tough, they will ask you from this. Then another tough question is changes in terms of engagement. So if at all the client requested for changes in terms of engagement, what matters auditor has to consider? Changes in terms of engagement, what matters auditor has to consider? In this book, this 11th topic and 12th topic, both are actually one and same. It's actually a single topic basically. So this can be tested if at all from terms of engagement, a tough question has to come. Next. Then in quality control, if a tough question has to come in quality control, what they will test, you know? Leadership responsibility for quality, ethical requirements for quality control. These 2 are tough question possibilities. Generally, you know, in this particular standard, every student will read acceptance and continuation. Every student will read integrity of client means what. Almost every student will cover quality control review topic. All that they cover. But what they don't focus on, engagement performance, they don't focus on. They don't focus on ethical requirement. So ethical requirement, engagement performance, monitoring. There is one more element, guys. Monitoring. Engagement, ethical responsibilities, ethical compliance, and this one, engagement performance, and the last one, monitoring. These 3 are tough topics. Then in SCA 220 quality control, in this quality control 220 standard, you know, again here, engagement performance and documentation. These 2 are something that you generally don't focus on. See, within the standard, what is tough, I'm telling you. That's it, guys. Second chapter, tough questions identified. What are they? Under 220, documentation point. Under 220, engagement performance point. That is tough. That is generally tough. Leadership responsibility, this is also tough here. In this, no, the actions of engagement partner, that point is there, right? That one, that is also tough. Then in SQC, monitoring is generally tough. Engagement quality not that, sorry. Engagement performance is tough. Then ethical requirements is tough. These 3. So totally in this chapter, if you see, some 7 or 8 concepts I told which are tough. Again, I'm repeating, if at all you think the paper is going to be tough, if you're worried about it, if you're panicking about it, these tough questions, whatever I'm showing you, right, give more attention to it. I already showed you exceptional question bank. So question bank, I showed you what are all exception questions that you study. And in addition to that, whatever difficult questions I'm saying you here, mostly this would have been repeated there already. Okay, but in the concept notes, I'm giving you the reference. Yes. Yes, somebody is asking, will you put any video before exam? Definitely I'll put some marathon videos. Okay, latestly I've done some marathons, okay, in my class which I'm taking for May 26 attempt, right? There I did some marathons already. That videos I'll put. Wonderfully it came. Fine. That's it, guys. This is second chapter. Now in audit report, what are tough questions in audit report? There will be a lot of tough questions in audit report. Like for example, in 700 standards, what are the factors to be considered before forming opinion? What are the factors to be considered before forming opinion? There are 3 factors here. Now, in that, one of the factor is evaluations. Evaluations means what? Evaluations about financials, evaluations about qualitative aspects of entities accounting, specific evaluations, evaluations about fair presentation framework. If really the examiner want to test a tough question, he will ask what are the specific evaluations in case of fair presentation framework. What auditor has to evaluate in case of fair presentation framework? This one they can ask if at all they really want to test a tough question. And another one they can ask is qualitative aspects as per 260 standard. What are the qualitative aspects of entities accounting practices? This can also be tested if at all a paper want to be tough. So I hope you're all ticking. Just confirm me. So just confirm me. Just are you all following? Just message your text here. You're all noting it down. Just repeat the video. Yeah. Further, in SCA 700 fair presentation framework, compliance framework, from this MCQ can come if the paper has to be tough. Next. Then if again paper has to be tough, this they can ask you. What do you mean by basis for opinion para? What points you will cover in basis for opinion para? What points the auditor has to report in basis for opinion para? This they can ask if at all the paper has to be tough. Just 1 minute. Yeah, just 1 minute, guys. Yes. Yeah, this video will be available after the live is over. Don't worry. Then if the paper again want to be tough, they will ask you auditor responsibility section. If at all paper has to be tough, they will ask you auditor responsibilities. In that, additional responsibilities is there. Like these are the responsibilities under various standards. This segment they can ask. Then in 705 standard, pervasive definition. If at all paper has to be tough, pervasive definition can be asked. Okay, because no, pervasive is something, one of the hard definition which generally students don't pay much attention. And determining type, which opinion under modified opinion you will give. It depends upon whether nature of the matter giving rise to modification and pervasiveness of the matter. Nature of the matter giving rise to modification means why are you modifying? So is it because of MMS? Is it because you don't have evidence? What is the reason? So that one. Then consequences if management imposed limitations. If management imposed limitations, we ask management to remove it. Okay, then we communicate with top management, then alternative, then withdrawal, all this. Okay, so that one is tough. Then again in 705 itself, basis for opinion section, how it will be? In case auditor gave disclaimer of opinion, how auditor responsibility? This was asked in Jan 25 attempt ma. Sorry, this point, and this point, some of this, one of this is asked in Jan 25 attempt. Jan 25 was one of the toughest paper in audit, CA inter audit. In case if a disclaimer of opinion is given, basis for opinion shall not have the following points. This point they gave. And auditor responsibilities in case of disclaimer of opinion. If auditor gave a disclaimer, responsibility section para will be there in audit report. What points they will communicate? That one. That's 705. So 4 questions I told in 705. Pervasiveness, what are the matters auditor consider which to decide which type of modified opinion is appropriate, what points auditor will consider, and basis for opinion para in case of auditor gave a disclaimer of opinion, auditor responsibility para in case auditor gave a disclaimer of opinion. These 4, okay, in 705. Then coming to 701, in 701 generally there won't be anything, all the points I think you generally pay attention, but What is the manner of communicating? This is a drafting kind of question. This is hard basically. This is hard. How to communicate key audit matter? Manner of communicating key audit matter. This is hard. Okay. This you can take a note as hard question. In 706, again in 706, usage. When emphasis of matter paragraph can be used with examples. You should not give examples of your own choice. You should give only these 4 examples. That is why it is tough. It is tough because you should give only the same examples here what they mentioned. You cannot give some other examples of what they mentioned. So that's tough in 706. Then coming to 710. 710 standard itself is entirely tough. In Jan 25 attempt, correct. In Jan 25 attempt, 710 question has been asked. Jan 25, right, Jan 25 was one of the toughest question paper. So in that Jan 25, 710 question they asked. By the way, in 710, what is tough, audit procedure for comparative information. This is generally tough. First of all, let me tell you, comparative financial statements is not a general purpose framework. It's basically a special purpose framework. This point you must know. If at all you are not aware of it, that you should know. Corresponding figures is generally there in general purpose framework, but comparative financial statements is generally there in special purpose framework only. There is a 710 video of mine, full video of my 710 is there in the YouTube. You can watch it. Risk assessment, internal control, full chapter of 6 hours is uploaded by me already on the YouTube. You can make use of those resources. Then audit reporting in case of corresponding figures is there, right? Inside that, unresolved prior period modification. This is hard. This is hard. That's it. So in 710 only that. They generally don't dare to test CFS, comparative financials. Actually in Jan 25, this only tested. But the answer they gave is corresponding figure answer only. Because that actually question was wrong. But answer, both of them are not matching. I don't know why they gave like that. Next. Yes, the live will be available even after this is over. This video will be there as it is. Don't worry at all. Then coming to SA 299, joint audit. In this, the tough point which many students ignore is special considerations in case of joint audit. This is hard. This is basically hard. Yeah, somebody is saying, yes, some Sanjay is saying that yes, 710 one question. Exactly. So special consideration, this is hard. Inside that, if at all they want to make really tough, they'll ask a 4 marks question of joint audit plan. The auditor has to develop a joint audit plan before starting the audit. This question they'll ask. What points auditor has to consider while developing joint audit plan? Okay. Somebody is asking Hindi. Guys, you have to write exam in English, and my English is something anybody can understand. Even you are from Hindi state, it doesn't matter. Just pay 5 minutes attention. You will understand that my English is very simple and I'm talking very slow. That's it. So that's it, guys. 299 over. Now coming to branch audit. You know what questions many students ignore? 600, SA 600 related. Principal audit procedure and nature and extent of above procedure. This one they will forget. This one they will not read in it. They will not read when they are preparing. This is something you will not read. By the way, tell me honestly right now, whatever questions I'm saying that it is hard, did you get a feeling that where were these questions, where were these concepts, I didn't notice them earlier? Did you feel like that? That is why I told these are the topics generally you don't pay attention. But see, same audit book you have studied, I mean some concept book you have studied so many times you might have repeated, but now when I'm showing you these are all the tough questions, you are unable to recollect that okay, these are all questions were there. Yes or no? Yeah, basically I teach only in English. Somebody is asking a message because I can't speak Hindi. Mera Hindi, I mean very basic Hindi में बात करूँगा. So full पूरा Hindi मुझे बात नहीं कर सकता. Okay, my Hindi was very average, but I can write. मैं हिंदी लिखने के अच्छा है, पढ़ने के अच्छा है, but बात करने को मेरे को हिंदी full नहीं आता. Fine, anyhow, it's okay, fine. People laugh at my Hindi. Fine, that's it. Now coming to Reporting requirements. Coming to reporting requirements. Okay, guys, we have to finish. I think almost it is 30 minutes. Another 30 minutes we will finish this. Okay. Reporting requirements. Here, no, if at all paper want to be tough, they will ask you, you have 6 enquiries. Remember, duty to enquire, 6 enquiries. That is tough question. That is tough question. Okay. Then I'm not saying everything, guys. I'm only selecting, you can see, out of 20 concepts in a particular chapter, I'm selecting 3 to 4 concepts only. Okay. Next. Then if you see additional reporting requirement in old scheme, once they tested this, funding party, beneficiary, intermediary, that point is there, right? In old scheme, once they tested it. Okay. Yes. So this one. Then that is tough one. Then in Caro, what are the tough clauses? Fixed assets. Pakka fixed assets is very tough clause, because no, students don't pay attention on revaluation and binami point. They don't pay attention. Then loans and advances, students pay very low level, I mean very least importance to this. Then default end user funds, I think all this is good. Nidhi company students pay less attention. NBFC point they will pay less attention. Inside that, even more least students, they don't study core investment company related disclosure. Do you recollect? Did you recollect core investment company now? Just tell me. Exactly. It's tough. Okay, I'm telling you, no, these are all the points where you don't pay attention, but they are in the syllabus. Then 19th point and 21st point, these 19 and 21, their student material uncertainty. The auditor has to check material uncertainty. That you should check on audit report date, about uncertainty on balance sheet date. This two, they can twist an MCQ. They can ask an MCQ by twisting these two dates. So this is tough. And 21st clause, which is applicable for an audit report given on consolidated financials. There you can. That's it. Next. See, I'm actually making this suddenly, because since the paper got postponed, hard questions list I'm making it now only. Okay, I have to sit and make it. Or if any of you student, if any of you have made a list of whatever I'm telling you, I will be very happy if you share it to our team or to me at Ram Harsha at Ram Harsha CA, at RAMHARSHACA, Ram Harsha CA at, before at. Okay, this is our Telegram ID. You just send me there what are all the questions that you noted down. I will ask my team to compile a list and then release a separate PDF on this. Okay. Next. Now completion and review, subsequent events. I think in this, no, nothing is such difficult. Okay, not a big deal, but I will still mention audit procedure for subsequent event. This is tough only, because students know mostly they think about facts identified before balance sheet date, facts identified after balance sheet date. This only they'll focus. But what about the audit procedure for identifying subsequent event? This entire point they don't focus. This entirely. In that, especially the written representation point, they will miss. So this is tough. Next. Don't worry, this video will be there even after this is over, so you can once again see and then take a note of it. Then 570 going concern. This standard is very big. You know, in this standard, this standard is something where students, first, I mean, by the way, anyhow, let me directly talk why. Going concern and what is its significance in financial reporting? What is going concern? Why it is important? This is, I won't say hard, but this is something unusual. Sometimes they can ask you this. Sometimes what is going concern? What is its importance in financial reporting and audit? So this sometimes they can ask. So be careful. This can be asked. Okay. So because generally you won't pay attention on this. Then factors affecting judgment. Management will make judgment about future, right? That is going concern assumption. What factors will affect? This is toughest in this standard. In this entire standard, this is toughest. Then that's it. I think remaining all, I think you risk assessment procedure related to going concern, a 5 marks question can come. Okay, this is tough. Then events and conditions, I think every one of you know it. Every one of you know it. Evaluating management assessment, this is 5 marks question, which is also possible. Evaluating management's assessment of going concern, this one. That's it. I mean, these 4 topics in that standard, nothing else. That's it. They are tough mark. By the way, I'm only telling you about tough questions. I'm not talking expected questions. Expected questions list is separately given by me. I already showed you. Exceptional questions list is given by me here in the free resources. I showed you at the beginning also, at the beginning of the video. I showed you expected questions you can find. Go to free resources in our website. Jan 26 expected questions you can download here. Okay, even survival plan, I made a video already and posted audit survival plan. If you are having 45 hours of time, if you are ready to dedicate 45 hours of time in the next 4-5 days, I can bet you can easily attempt 70-75 marks of the paper, no matter how tough the paper is going to come. So survival plan already released by me, the video, just watch that survival plan video. Next, then coming to 450 standard. Okay, 450 standard. In this, accumulation of misstatements, communication and correction of misstatement, these are the 2 main topics that are there. Okay, now, so technically 450 entire standard is important because it's a very small standard. I don't want to keep anything again inside that, what is hard, what is not hard. I don't want to. 450 technically entirely is important. Now 580, wow, this is one of the very big standard again. Now in this, what is tough generally? Need for management representation. Need. Why written representation is important? Somebody is asking, is going concern in audit report and completion and review? Basically, going concern topic is that standard is there in completion and review chapter only, but we discuss it in audit report. In audit report, there is only one small para, but going concern is actually a 5 pages discussion, and that entire discussion in depth is given in completion and review chapter. Okay, but it has to be read in audit report topic, because in audit report, one of the element of audit report is material uncertainty related to going concern. So that is one of the reason. Then why management representation about responsibility is important? This is very important. I mean, very tough. And reconfirmation of responsibilities. Reconfirmation of responsibilities with written representation. This is also tough. And in September or May attempt or September, supplement representation is already asked, but that is hard. That is hard question. Okay, then that's it. In SA 580, these are the tough questions basically. Then coming to SA 260, there is only one tough question. Who are those charged with governance? This was asked in Jan 25 attempt for 5 marks question. Who are those charged? What do you mean by those charged? This is only tough in the standard. Rest of the standard is easy. Rest of the standard is easy, not a big deal. Then 265, entire standard is tough only. It's not easy. 265, 450, both the standards are not easy. You feel like you understood everything, but be careful. MCQs, if at all they twist, it is very tough. Next. Don't worry, I'll post a video on 265, 450, all these revision standards. I'm posting a video, YouTube video, marathon video, fantastically decoded and explained. So for all students who already gone through it once, if you watch that video, your grip on those standards will be much more higher. In this, sorry, one important question, 265. If you ask me, one of the tough question is, what is the written, you need to communicate in writing. Communicating significant deficiency, you should communicate in writing to top management. What you should mention in that letter? So this content, the written communication must include these points. This is hard because general students don't pay attention to this. They don't pay attention to this. Next. In documentation, documentation of nature, timing, extent. This is hard because you don't pay attention when you're reading. You don't pay attention when you're reading. And again, timely preparation of documentation. This is hard because you don't pay attention when you're reading. Generally, this you don't pay attention. Then documentation of significant matters, documentation related to professional judgment. These 4 topics, that's it. These 4 topics, that's it in documentation chapter, that's it. Yeah, Sanjay, I recommend you to study 265 450 after risk assessment chapter and internal control. That's it. So with this documentation topic also I told. Now coming to the biggest standard, that is 500. 500 is the biggest standard in the entire syllabus. 500 and 530 biggest standards. Now in 500, what are tough questions? What are tough questions? Relevance of an audit evidence. This 5 marks question, this is tough. This is generally tough. Then that's okay. I'm just figuring out tough questions. Sources of audit evidence, tough question. Generally the moment when some question, when a student sees sources, they will write internal evidence, external evidence, that answer. No, that not that. Sources of evidence, testing accounting records, consistent evidence, external sources. You should write first internal source. What internal evidences you should write? You see here, there is nowhere mentioned about internal evidence topic and all. Source of audit evidence, this is what heading given in ICMETL also. This is tough. Then inquiry about management intention, like management past history, management reason for a particular course. Management intention, 4 or 5 marks question, tough question. If at all they want to ask, this one they can ask as a tough question. Timing of audit when accounting records are in electronic form, this is one of the hard concept. 3/4 strategy will always work. I'm just telling you right away. Somebody is asking me, you can make a record, you can take a record with the time date in the coming, when the exam is going to be held, I'm not sure. From 3/4 strategy, you will find minimum 90 marks. That's my guarantee. 90 marks you will find in the 3/4 strategy, paka. Okay, next. Then concept of assertions, right? Inside that assertion, some concept, nature of assertion, negative assertion. This topic you generally don't pay attention. This is hard. Okay. Then inconsistency and doubts over reliability. This is hard topic. This is hard topic. Then that's it. That is hard topic. Audit trial, benefits of audit trial is hard topic. Audit trial, entire topic, you can take entire topic of audit trial as hard. Why it is hard? Because the terminology reproducing is not that easy here. In audit trial, the terminology reproducing is very tough. Then coming to using the work of internal auditor, there activities related to internal control. There are 4 activities, controls: financial and operating information, operating activity, and compliance with laws and regulations. So activities, this is hard. Then again, another hard question in this is objectivity and its evaluation. When you are using internal auditor type 1 work, objectivity and evaluation, this is hard. This is hard. Then procedures when he planned to use the work, like discuss planned uses, this is hard. The external auditor has to discuss with internal auditors planned usage. This is hard question. Then that's it. This one in type 2 work, here restriction on scope of work from direct assistance. Restriction, you take direct assistance, but some works, you won't allocate to internal auditor who is giving direct assistance, like area involving high risk, high judgment, areas which they already performed or planning to perform, or decisions which we need to take as per SSU 610, that one. Okay, this is tough here. This is generally hard, which students won't understand generally. This is hard. Then coming to 530, sampling. In sampling, if you ask me tough question, sample design factors will be there. One question will be there, sample design factors. Factors while designing, factors while choosing sample design. This is tough. This is very tough. Advantages of statistical sampling. This is tough. These are all manageable, not that big deal. Sample size and factors, yeah, not an issue, manageable. Then you have performing audit procedure on selected sample. Yeah, 530 itself is tough, but inside that, specifically if you ask me what are extreme tough, performing procedures on selected sample. One is sample design. Another one what I selected is performing procedures on selected sample. Another one what I selected, actually just now I selected, no, factors while choosing sample design. That's what. So that is one. Advantages of statistical sampling. Yeah, statistical sampling advantages. Okay, so that one. Then performing procedures on selected sample. Why, you know, there is a technique, simple technique. Whenever I say tough, you just pause the video, open your book, and then tick that. Very simple. Why again you need to open a PDF again? You have to tick no. While watching the video itself, you tick. It will be very easy for you. Nature and cause of deviations and misstatements. This is tough. Projection, evaluation of sampling results. Actually, evaluation of sampling results is there, right? Here, these points can be tested as MCQ. The possibility of this is MCQ. Then in 501, tough question I'll tell you. If auditor is doing physical inventory count on other than balance sheet date, what additional procedures you need to perform? First question itself students won't understand. Like you need to verify whether perpetual records are properly adjusted, whether are they reliable, reasons for difference. This is hard. If you want to understand this, you need to understand first that physical verification will be performed by the company at year end and auditor has to attend that. That you need to understand first. Then, so auditor unable to attend inventory counting. That is normal, not a big deal. Inventory under third party control, inside that, no, you can request confirmation from third party or you can inspect it or other procedures you can do. What do you mean by other procedure? This is hard. Generally you don't notice. What do you mean by other audit procedures? Other audit procedure means what? On this MCQs also has been asked in the past. So other audit procedure means what? This itself can come as a 4 or 5 marks question if the paper has to be tough. Then litigations and claims. When to seek direct communication? When auditor will communicate directly with external legal counsel? What is letter of specific inquiry? What is letter of general inquiry? This is tough. Then in segment information, examples of matters to understand methods used by management, sales, comparisons, allocation. This is hard. That's it. 4 topics are hard in essay 501. 4 topics are hard in essay 501. Then in 505, external confirmation. Every student think they know very well this standard, but you need to figure out, do you know exception definition? Exception definition, if you do, you know. Non-response definition. In that, if at all you sent a confirmation request, it was not delivered, it returned to you because the mail ID was wrong or the address was wrong, it delivered. That is also treated as non-response, MCQ. Okay, exception. These two are most important definitions and tough definitions. Then designing the request, what factors you should consider while designing the confirmation request. This is hard. Then non-response to negative confirmation. If at all you don't receive response for negative, generally what we assume, if at all we didn't get response and negative confirmation, we assume everything is matching. But how should we interpret this? This is hard. This is hard. Yes, Siddharth, somebody is asking, will this be available after the live? Yes, it will be available. It will be available. Next. Then in 510 standard, what is hard question in 510? Nature and extent of audit procedures for opening balance. This entire segment where they speak about what factors affecting audit procedure for opening balance. Okay, and can you rely on predecessor audit report? How to obtain evidence for opening current assets and liabilities? How to obtain evidence for opening inventory? How to obtain evidence for opening current assets and non-current assets and non-current liability? This segment is very tough. Only that segment in entire fight, and this segment is alone is tough. Then related party. In this related party, what is tough? Nature of related party relationships and transactions, where high risk is there, right? Examples of high risk. This is heart. This is heart. That's it. In related party, only one is heart. Now coming to most advanced standard, analytical procedure. Analytical procedure. What is tough? In exam, how a question can come in analytical procedure, you know? Analytical procedure consists of two things. Comparison of entity financial information. Comparison is one analytical. Relationship study is another analytical. These two you need to focus. What is the difference between that? Because in exam they'll ask you, what, give you examples of consideration of relationship. They'll ask you this question. So you need to write only this matter. Analytical procedure, consideration of relationships. Analytical procedure, comparison of entity financial information. So both are two different. This is hard part. Then timing, that is not a big deal. Substantive analytical, not a big deal. Factors for substantive analytical, this is hard. What factors will influence the auditor while performing substantive analytical procedure? In ICA book, no, substantive audit procedure they use. Actually that's actually a typo. For me, according to me, that's actually substantive analytical procedure. Next, can we use analytical as a sole substantive audit procedure? This is one more tough question. So analytical, you see, can we use analytical procedure as a sole substantive procedure? This is one question. And factors for substantive analytical, and first part of the first introduction, analytical procedure consists of comparison of financial information, consideration of relationship, these two. Next, that's it. Suitability of analytical procedure for the given session, fourth topic. This is the fourth topic in this analytical procedure. Analytical has almost 12-13 topics, but these 4 topics are tough. Yeah, this is tough, ma. Rest all are manageable, not an issue. Amount of difference that is acceptable. Generally students don't pay attention to this, so I will classify this as tough. That's it. With this, 6 chapters are over. Still we have 5 more chapters. I'll do one thing. Tomorrow I'll come for another half an hour to 1 hour live, and then figure out remaining 5 chapters tough questions. Okay, 6 chapters related tough questions. I told I'll post marathons also. Don't worry, fantastic. All main key standards revision and all, I'll post it. Okay, that's it, guys. Take care. Okay, these 6 chapters. By the way, important points to remember. What are they? What are the important points to remember? Download this. Okay, download this question bank. You see, beautiful question bank. In this question bank, in every chapter we found out tough questions, unusual, something different, exceptional question. They might have been asked in MTP or RTP or past exam questions, something. So important questions, you can also call them as important questions, unusual questions. So in the question bank, where to download, I showed you, srestha4cscma.com. At the beginning of the video I spoke, please go back to the beginning of the video. I told you what documents you should download, and I also gave a list of expected questions. I also made a video on survival plan. Just go with that, you will get it. That's it. Okay, fine. I'll wind up. Remaining 5 chapters tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I will do live of remaining 5 chapters hard questions. Okay, in the meantime, if possible, I will list out separately all these hard questions and exceptional questions and release a PDF for all your advantage. That's it. Okay, bye bye, take care. And yeah, just tell me, like, what happened. I mean, any of your schedules got postponed? Like tonight, some of you might have booked tickets, no? Cancel tickets, hostel issues. And some students know they are planning for ITT orientation tomorrow onwards. Actually, after the exam is over, 20th onwards for them it is going to start, it seems. You simply tell them that institute postponed, they will shift the batch. Don't worry, they will shift the batch. Nothing to worry. Fine. That's it, guys. Thank you. Any other thing is there? Comment below. And also don't forget to like the video and comment below where are you from and how did you feel about this session. Study hall issue. Somebody saying study hall issue. Fine. What to do? Nothing can be done. Fine. Okay. Take care, guys.